Hello everybody, welcome to Freshwater Follies on Netflix. Freshwater ecosystems are all around the world, but today we will take a deep dive into Lake Xochimilco. Freshwater ecosystems are located all around the world as lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. Lake Xochimilco is located in Mexico City. You may have heard of Lake Xochimilco, home to the Mexican walking fish, also known as the axolotl, made popular in Minecraft and other video games. Let's look at some of the plant life living in this lake. There's algae, water lily, and cattails. These plants get their energy from the sun. Now let's meet some of the animals at Lake Xochimilco. First, let's see the amazing axolotl. Axolotl's feathery antennae aren't actually antennae at all. They're gills, which allow them to breathe underwater. While most amphibians grow lungs and lose their gills, along with losing their tails and growing legs, the axolotl grows all of those adult parts without losing the baby ones. Speaking of amphibians, the Montezuma frog is a neighbor of the axolotl. It eats insects, worms, snakes, birds, and other frogs. Now for the fish in this ecosystem. The splitfin, African tilapia, and Asian carp are residents of Hotel Xochimilco. By the way, African tilapia and Asian carp are introduced species to the lake, and they eat axolotl eggs and juveniles, which has made the axolotls even more endangered. Next up, let me introduce our flying feathery friends. There's the somewhat solitary buzzard, the solitary falcon, and the social white pelican. The buzzard has kind of flat feet and sharp beaks, so it can walk on the ground, ripping apart the carrion or dead animals. They scavenge. Falcons, speedy birds of prey, have sharp beaks and talons so they can swoop up their prey while they are flying. A pelican has webbed feet for swimming, and their beaks can catch fish or scoop up gallons of water with fish in their pouch. Now let's look at what role each of these organisms play in this ecosystem. The producers are the plants that turn light from the sun into energy to grow and live. That process is called photosynthesis. In Lake Xochimilco, algae is an example of a producer. On to the first stage consumers. First stage consumers eat producers. First stage consumers are those that are herbivores. The splitfin eats algae, so the splitfin is considered a first stage consumer. Those that eat first stage consumers are called secondary stage consumers, actually. And since the axolotl eats the splitfin, the axolotl is a second stage consumer and is a carnivore. Third stage consumers eat the animals that eat the animals that eat the plants. Reminds me of the food chain. The Asian carp ate the axolotl that ate the splitfin that ate the algae. Just a little side note, the axolotl doesn't have teeth. They snatch their prey from the water, clamp down, and or swallow their food whole. Earlier I mentioned that buzzards scavenge. Technically, they aren't decomposers themselves. They help in the decomposition of dead animals, just like crabs do. Some actual decomposers, the one who break down dead things and down its nutrients so plants can grow, are worms and fungus. This is energy moving around, which perfectly brings us to the concept of energy transfer in an ecosystem. All organisms need energy to live. Energy comes from the sun. Plants take in the energy, remember photosynthesis, and anything after that eats the plant siphons off most of that energy. For every participant in that food chain after that, less and less energy is transferred. But it is transferred. A great way to see the path of energy transfer in an ecosystem is to look at a food web. You know, energy never disappears anywhere in the universe. It's just moved or transferred from one place or thing to another. So food webs are little maps of the paths where energy is shuffled around, transferring from one organism to another. Here's a Lake Xochimilco food web for you. Well, folks, that's all for my report today. Hope you learned something and found it interesting. My name is Vincent McKnight, signing off.